Hello and welcome to the third episode of Mantosh Speaks Corporate. In today's episode, we'll talk about a very important aspect of any company, whether it's a B2B company or B2C company. They all worry all day about how to gain customers, how to retain them, how to make them happy so that they can come back again, renew their products, subscription, whatever it is that they are buying from them, and get to a point eventually when they become the advocates. Now, advocacy is the ultimate state of a customer's loyalty or happiness, but few companies get there. Now, this whole thing that I have described is called customer experience, customer journey. Buyer's journey is a part of that, and there are lots of customer experience practitioners and specialists all around the world. They are trying to figure out how to crack the code of customer happiness and loyalty and advocacy. Now the challenges are that most of the companies are happy finding the prospects and converting them to the customers, and they think that like their journey has ended once they have a customer. Let's move on from this customer to another customer. That is a big gap in their thought process, and that's where the companies who make it for a really long time versus the company who don't make it. Today, I'm not going to talk about the entire customer experience journey from prospects to the customers to a loyal customers who not only renews but buys more and more of your product and set of other products in your product portfolio. Today, I'm going to focus one key aspect of customer experience, which is called customer success. And this customer success part of the customer experience journey happens after the buying company has already bought your product. They have acquired your products. Either they know what to do with it or they don't have any idea what to do with it. That's where the customer success department within your company comes into the picture, and it helps your company either rise to the top, sink to the bottom, or stay somewhere in the middle. Now, if you are in a corporate world, if you are running a company, your aspiration is naturally not to be at the bottom. Everybody wants to get to the top, but not everybody wants to do a methodical work, methodical thinking, methodical strategy to get to the top, and how do we stay at the top. There are few companies who have cracked the code and they have benefited from amazing growth, realizing their potential, and making their customers sing their praises to the other customers. There is nothing better than having a word of mouth from an existing customers who create lots of success stories for you to sell it to the other prospects. Where I have seen is a dichotomy in terms of how the talents are acquired in different parts of companies. Sales wants to acquire the best talent possible. Product and engineering, they go out to acquire the best product management talent, or the coder, developer, engineering architect, etc., to make sure that we create a product which is super great and enticing for the customer, solve their problem, and have the best user experience and whatnot. Where I have found a huge gap, even in the larger B2B companies, they when it comes to the customer success and really driving the customer success in a very measured and methodical way to keep all the customers that they have acquired extremely happy. That's where the deficiency in the talent strategy lies. When it comes to the customer success teams, where the rubber meets the road in terms of the customer has bought the product or the portfolio of products, but they have no clue, no idea how to get the maximum utilization of the products and the feature sets. Now, lots of times their own implementation department, IT department, depending upon the products and subscription, they struggle. When they struggle, the good companies give them a really good success advocates, success managers, success architects, which can help drive the customer success through the use of products, through the use of maximum feature sets that a customer can derive the full value through. Now, there are some companies, and I will give you an example. I have been using Microsoft products for all my life. Every company that I went to, they had Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, Excel, you name it. How much do you think I know and other people know about all the features and the functionalities that are contained in those products? Personally, I think I would be exaggerating if I tell you that I know more than 10 to 15% of all these products, whether it's Excel, PowerPoint, or Word. And I have managed to get through most of my career. But imagine if there are really great features which could have helped me tell my stories much better to my customers, to my internal partners, to my stakeholders, external and internal. Would that not have made a difference in my career in terms of the output that my department was trying to produce, in terms of the story that we were trying to tell? So if you take that similar example, most of the products in the vast array of product portfolio that any of the B2B company sells, majority of customers, they're using 10 to 15% of the features and functionalities. Now, when you have that level of utilization, you are at the risk of definitely churn, and potentially some other company will try to come and displace you because the customers are not realizing the full potential, full value of what you are trying to deliver to them. And why it is not happening in lots of companies, what we have seen, that while you pay your talents to the upwards of 200 grand, 300 grand, 400 grand, on top of that, like bonuses, commissions, kickers, accelerators, if you are in sales, if you are in the product development, lots of RSUs and stock options and whatnot. But you put the onus of customer success to bunch of newbies who have just come out of college, and you give them like 3 months of training and you let them lose to 50 of those accounts. If you are a CSM or customer success manager supporting the SMB business. Now, when it comes to enterprise customers and large enterprise customers, you do throw in some platform architect and success architects and other CSMs, but they are nowhere in comparison in terms of competency what your product, engineering, sales, marketing, and corporate strategy team is. So what do you expect a CSM who has very superficial knowledge about the product and portfolio of products and the feature sets and functionalities, whereas your developers and product managers have taken number of years to develop their competency on those products to the point that they can speak about the products, they know the functionalities, features, and what are the benefits that one can derive from using those products. And now you throw it over the fence to the CSMs and limited talent pool there to serve the customers. No wonder the customer success falls flat on its face and hurts the brand, hurts your entire customer experience, and doesn't create enough loyalty. Forget about the advocacy. So if we really are serious about creating a fantastic customer experience, you have to look at the companies among the B2B and B2C and see what kind of talent, what kind of people their customer success department is equipped to in helping the customers reach their full value of all the products and feature sets they have purchased, they have bought. Now imagine if a customer is using 70 to 80% of your functionality, would they ever leave your company? Would they ever leave and go to a competitor? No chance. They will be loyal to the health and they will sing your praises to other customers. So if you want to bridge the gap which currently exists in most of the B2B companies, where their NPS score is languishing somewhere between 20, 30, 40, or 50. If you want to become a world-class, excellent companies with net promoter score or NPS higher than 60 or 70, you have to pay attention to your customer success strategy, customer success delivery strategy, and see that you put the best talents who not only understand your portfolio of products and each use cases, products, feature sets, functionalities, but also know how to interact with the customers and drive the maximum value for those products. Once you do that, you are golden. With this, I would just leave you with the parting word that if you pay attention to your customer success hiring, training, and skilling and competency strategy, you are going to be one of the best companies in the world, driving the maximum potential for the customer and in the process creating huge upside for yourself. Thank you, and talk to you in yet another episode of Mantosh Speaks Corporate. Bye-bye.